This course is designed to support beginning readers as they decode two-syllable words following basic patterns by breaking the words into syllables. Through systematic, focused instruction on flexible use of common syllable patterns, students develop important strategies for reading longer words. In Syllable Types, a strategy for reading multisyllabic words by Mary Knight McKenna, the research shows that knowing syllable types helps struggling readers to decode long words. Teaching syllable types belongs in a comprehensive literacy program for English language learners who are at risk for reading problems, and that teacher knowledge of syllable types is needed for teachers to effectively teach reading. This course should be taught after the courses on the following standards: Reading Foundations First Grade 3B, Decode regularly spelled one-syllable words. In this course, students learn to differentiate between open and closed syllables. Reading Foundations First Grade 3C, no final E for representing long vowel sounds. And Reading Foundations First Grade 3D, use knowledge that every syllable must have a vowel sound to determine the number of syllables in a printed word. The learning objective for this course is that readers will be able to decode multisyllabic open and closed syllable words by breaking them apart into syllables. The student objective is that students can read big words by breaking them into syllables. The focus standard is Reading Foundational Skills First Grade Phonics and Word Recognition 3D, which is to decode words following basic patterns by breaking words into syllables. Another standard that is addressed is Reading Foundational Skills 1-4, Read with sufficient accuracy and fluency to support comprehension. Allow 30 minutes for the first lesson and then 5 to 10 minutes for follow-up practice on subsequent days as needed. Students need to be able to identify and know the difference between vowels and consonants. Before teaching this lesson, spend time as a class and in small groups sorting letter cards into piles of vowels and consonants until students can quickly identify vowels and consonants. Another suggestion is to provide students with a short page of letters and teach them to put a small pencil dot under vowels. Students should be able to identify open and closed syllables and know what the vowel in each syllable type says. During the collaborative learning phase of this lesson, when students are working in partnerships, each partnership will need a copy of the word cards provided with this course and a pair of scissors for quickly cutting apart the word cards. When students are ready for independent practice, each student will need a copy of the Break It Up page provided in the resources. The lesson in this model is based on the Gradual Release model as described in detail in the book Better Learning Through Structured Teaching by Douglas Fisher and Nancy Frey. In the Teacher as Model phase, the lesson's purpose and goals are clearly established, and the teacher models his or her own thinking through direct explanations, modeling and thinking aloud as the students observe and listen. In the guided instruction phase, students began to take on more of the learning responsibility through carefully chosen activities, while the teacher observes and scaffolds as needed with questions, prompts, and cues. In the collaborative learning phase, students use language skills to practice and apply their learning while interacting with their peers. In the independent learning phase, students work independently to practice applying skills and information and solidify understanding. The authors write that it is through this process of gradually assuming more and more responsibility for their learning that students become competent, independent learners. Additional brief activities to be completed on subsequent days after the lesson are suggested to help students practice and reinforce their understanding of breaking up 2- and 3-syllable words. The follow-up activities should be spread out over several days. They are designed to be completed in a small group. The additional activities are explained after the lesson. The focused instruction phase of learning provides students with information about the ways in which a skilled reader, writer, or thinker processes the information under discussion. Watch the following demonstration for an explanation of how to break words into syllables and use an understanding of open and closed syllables to read the chunks in a word. The modeling in this short video segment shows the same modeling that you would do for your students during the focused instruction phase in the Gradual Release of Responsibility model.
Today I'm going to model for you how to show students how to divide a multisyllabic word into individual syllables to help them read the word easier. First, show them that if I were a first grade student I might sound out each individual sound and try to stretch out the word. And it's really hard to read that word if I have to stretch out all of those sounds, and sometimes I forget what it says. So tell them, today I'm going to show you a trick to make it easier to read this big long word. I'm going to break it into chunks called syllables. The first step to do that is to dot each of your vowels. So I'm going to search in my word and find each vowel and put a small dot underneath. Then I'm going to go to the end of the word and find the vowel and move backward one letter and underline the syllable. Then I'm going to go to the next vowel, again move backward one letter and underline the next syllable. Then I'm going to move to the last vowel and again go backward one letter and underline the syllable. At this point, if you've not yet reviewed the lesson from RF1-3B on open and closed syllables, you may want to do that or refer to the poster provided in the resource section that shows about open and closed syllables. Show them how you would look at each vowel and see if it can run away. Remember, if the vowel can't run away, then we know it says its sound. If it can, then we know it says its name. In this case, the vowel can't run away. It's closed. So it's going to say an. The same thing here. I see that this vowel can't run away, so it's going to say its sound. Ass. And the same with the last in this case. Ick. Remind them this is not always the case. Sometimes they're open and sometimes they're closed. Let's read the whole word together now using the syllables that I've broken it into. Fantastic. Fantastic. And this is how you would demonstrate how to read a multisyllabic word by breaking it into syllables.
In the guided instruction phase, the teacher is working toward a more modest goal, allowing students to experience some success. Have the words bacon and magnet written out on index cards or sheets of paper. Tell students they are going to help you divide the word into syllables and read each word. Call on a student to come up and help you find the vowels in bacon, or move your finger slowly under the word and have students shout stop when they see a vowel. Put a dot underneath each vowel. Show students how you are going to find the vowel at the end of the word, the O in the chunk con. Then move your finger backward one letter and cut the paper with scissors to show how the word can be broken up into two chunks, bay and con. Refer to the open and closed syllable poster as you decide whether the vowel in each syllable will say its name or its sound. Look at the first syllable, bay, and ask students if the vowel can run away or not. Students should see that the vowel can run away, so it will say its name, A. Then together, read the syllable, bay. Then look at the next syllable, con, and decide if the vowel can run away or not. Read the syllable con together. Then put the two cards back together to recode the whole word, bacon. Repeat these steps with the word magnet. Solving problems and identifying solutions are central thinking goals in productive group work. In the collaborative learning phase, students will work in partnerships. Give each partnership a copy of the word cards and a pair of scissors. Model how to cut one word off at a time, dot the vowels, cut the word into syllables by working backwards from the last vowel. Remind the students to read each syllable and then recode the whole word. Have students work with their partner to divide the words into syllables and read the words. Monitor and guide partnerships as necessary. Tell students that now they are going to try breaking words into syllables on their own. Give each student a copy of the Break It Up page in the Resources section. Instruct them to first put a dot under the vowels in each word, and then work from the end of the word to draw lines under each syllable in the word. Monitor students as they work on this activity. Poll small groups of students if they need further guided instruction. Feedback should always be paired as closely as possible to the task itself. After independent practice, Have students come back to the meeting area to share what they have learned about syllables. As you teach syllable concepts, co-construct an anchor chart together to post in the room. Add to the chart as students learn more about syllables. Pick from the following activities to do whole group, small group, or individually as needed. Write words from the word list outside with sidewalk chalk and have students dot the vowels and underline the syllables. Have students write words out from the word list on small whiteboards. Then place pipe cleaners that you've cut into 2 to 3 inch pieces under each syllable in the word. This could also be done with Play-Doh rolled into logs or wiki sticks. Write words from the word list on the board. Dim the lights in the room and play flashlight detectives. Call students up and have them shine the flashlight so that only one syllable at a time is lit up. Another alternative is to have them use finger lights or a laser pointer to show where the word would divide. For additional information on dividing multisyllabic words, please see the following resources. 6-Syllable Types, an article available on readingrockets.com by Louisa Moats and Carol Toman. Syllable Types, a strategy for reading multisyllabic words by Mary Knight McKenna. And for additional information on the framework for the gradual release of responsibility model, please see Better Learning Through Structured Teaching by Douglas Fisher and Nancy Frey.